In this installment of post-game analysis on the Oregon gun bill hearing, we'll look back at the testimony from Penny Okamoto from Ceasefire, Oregon.
Penny Okamoto, I'm the Executive Director of Ceasefire, Oregon. Our written testimony has been submitted. So prohibited buyers actually flock to unregulated private marketplace where background checks are not required. In a recent study of the state's prison inmates, 96.1% of offenders who were legally prohibited acquired the gun from the supplier who was not required to conduct a background check. That's an injury prevention right here.
Wait, what about the other 3.9%? You're basically saying that they went through the background check and were still approved. That's pretty scary. That's your own background check system, Penny, and it let how many hundreds or thousands of criminals slip through undetected? I believe in internet terms, your system would be called a fail.
We had about 2,000 active Oregon listings on one site, armslist.com, just last week. Some sellers said outright, quote, "There will be no background check," end quote.
Well, Penny, I'm going to test that. I've plugged into the Google machine here the quote, "There will be no background check." I set it to Oregon so we're not getting too confused with other states, and I set it to the site armslist.com. Oh, lo and behold, there is no exact quote for "there will be no background check." So instead it searches for the terms without the quotations. Let's see what we have here. We have this first listing here. These are all sort of out of order. Set it for the past year. Legal to own and can pass a background check. See, what does the next one say here? CHL required, so I know you can pass a background check, or valid Oregon driver's license, so I can do a background check. See, background check fee, $10 to perform a background check. Finally, here we go, $200 firm and no background check. Now, what is this here? It's a 1943 Mosin Nagant. This is an old frickin' rifle that is not very practical to have around or to use in any kind of mass shooting spree or anything. This is not exactly the kind of thing that you're going to see the next Kip Kinkle using. So that's a strikeout there. It's an old military surplus rifle. Let's see here, going down the list. Fee for the background check included. Legal to own and can pass a background check. See, legal to own and pass a background check. Price is $4.99 plus $10 for the background check. $10 background check. $10 background check. And that's general rules about arms list. So just for the fun of it, let's take the Oregon thing out of it and see how many nationally say there will be no background check. Oh, what do you know? That quote is not found either. So it's going to search for the same terms without the quotes here. Let's see here. There will be a background check. I am a dealer, so there will be a background check. There will be a tax on the sale and a standard background check. I am a dealer, so there will be a background check. For sale Yugo SKS, CNR item, no background check. Interesting. But what is a CNR item? Let's ask the ATF. CNR item is a curio and relic, and what does it say here? Are licensed collectors required to execute Form 4473 for transactions? No. Oh, Penny, your own law has that particular rifle exempt from the background checks that you would want to conduct. Ah, such a shame, huh? See here, who will do background checks for $10, because this guy wants to do background checks. There will be a background check performed. There will be a background check. $10 for background check. If you won't pass a background check, see what this says. All these listings are old, so I have to go into the Google cache to find out what they really were. See here. If you won't pass a background check, you'll be wasting your time inquiring. see here, through my business, we'll go through Form 4473 background check. What's this one here? Oh, this is also curio and relic, just like the other one. Exempt from your own law, Penny. Duplicate of that post. Let's see what this one says here. Looks like this is a guy going over some of the specifics about what's legal and not in New York. And let's see, it appears as though most people still don't know how the SAFE Act is supposed to be implemented and what applies to it and what doesn't apply to it. Typical confusion from a typical confusing law. See, your transfers will go through my business, background check. If you decide you want it, I can run the background check right here at no cost to you. We are dealers, so there will be a background check. This one here is a guy who is just going over some of what the laws are in Tennessee. Background check, requires background check, background check, requires background check. You do not have to go through a background check for this one. What is this one? Oh, it's a muzzle loader. It's a musket. And what do a lot of the anti-gun people say that the Second Amendment is supposed to apply to? Muskets. Oh, we finally found one here. I'm an individual, so there is no background check. Finally, we get how many dozens down before we see one? Well, Penny, I guess maybe you just might have it sort of, maybe a little bit right if you squint your eyes just the right way.
Many more board-prohibited buyers are offering FTF or face-to-face transactions, meaning a background check. How many of those guns went to prohibited purchasers, felons, domestic abusers, and the dangerously mentally ill sold by gun owners who voluntarily chose to remain ignorant about the buyer's criminal history?
Well, Penny, maybe that's because in the world of gun owners, we don't automatically assume that everyone is a criminal, just waiting to go on a killing rampage. Maybe in your world of hysteria and fear of the unknown, you default to a psychological condition of assuming everyone is guilty.
According to Alabama, Colombia, only about 5% of all the people who shoot other people are actually severely mentally ill. That means if we only focus on mentally ill, we completely neglect the other 95% of shooters. We've heard all the statistics today in earlier testimony. I'm open to them now. I'd be happy to discuss them with you if you'd like. We've also heard about denials and delays. But I would ask you to remember the people whose lives have been denied or delayed because of a lack of background checks.
Because somehow the act of not filling out a piece of paper is more deadly than the act of pulling the trigger?
Please put public safety first. Ceasefire Oregon respectfully urges you to support SB 1551. Thank you.